Welcome to your custom deep dive. Usually, a printing press just, blindly stamps ink on a page. It doesn't really care about the plot, it just follows instructions.
Right.
But imagine if that printing press started editing your chapters, suggesting better plot twists, and, well, practically co-writing the book with you.
That would be a total game changer.
Exactly. And today, we're unpacking a really fascinating 2026 report on Nearshoring 2.0. We're looking at how Mexico is turning its factories from mindless printing presses into actual co-authors of global technology.
Yeah, and that printing press analogy is honestly the perfect way to look at this shift. Because in the olden days, which we call Nearshoring 1.0, companies looked at Mexico strictly for low labor costs.
Just finding the absolute cheapest assembly line.
Right. You sent the blueprints, they assembled the parts, but now the stamp on the box isn't just made in Mexico, it's designed and created in Mexico.
And that obviously requires a completely different kind of infrastructure. I mean, you don't just flip a switch and go from a basic assembly line to a cutting-edge R&D center overnight.
No, not at all. You need a massive pipeline of brains to pull that off. And, well, that is actually happening right now. Mexico is churning out over 170,000 engineering graduates every single year.
Oh, wow, 170,000. That's huge.
It really is. It's this critical mass of STEM talent that's honestly making even a demographically shifting China a little envious.
Which totally makes sense, and it explains the specialized hubs popping up all over the map in the report. Like, Guadalajara is operating essentially as the Mexican Silicon Valley now.
Yeah, and Monterrey is just this absolute engineering powerhouse.
Right, and then you have Querétaro dominating aerospace. And these grads aren't just, operating imported machines anymore. They're designing autonomous vehicle software, complex turbine components, things like that.
And a huge advantage here is that they're doing all of this in the exact same time zone as Austin or San Francisco.
Oh, right, the time zone alignment.
Yeah, it's massive.
Yeah.
Because when you're designing something as intricate as, say, a jet turbine, you need constant iteration. If you have a 12-hour time delay with your engineering team across the globe,
You're just constantly waiting on an email from the other side of the world.
exactly, your time to market just crawls. Real-time collaboration completely changes the game.
Okay, but I'm listening to this and thinking, well, if I'm a tech CEO, handing over instructions to build a basic widget is one thing, but handing over my core R&D blueprints, that sounds like a massive intellectual property and security nightmare.
Oh, absolutely. That fear is totally justified. And honestly, it's why the old vendor model is dead. You can't just hunt for the cheapest hourly rate anymore.
You need someone you actually trust.
Right, you have to find a true strategic partner. To protect all that intellectual property, these 2.0 partners have to adopt global cybersecurity standards, like ISO 27001.
Okay, so for those of us who don't speak cybersecurity fluently, what does that actually look like on the ground?
Well, essentially it means military-grade protocols. It's about how data is encrypted, strictly controlling who can physically access a server room, and, actively monitoring for any breaches.
So it's way more than just a password on a laptop.
Oh, definitely. A true 2.0 partner functions as an extension of your own innovation team. They have their own AI simulation labs and advanced 3D printing floors.
Right.
They don't wait to be told what to do. They actively prototype improvements.
So if you're still pinching pennies and choosing a partner who can't scale technologically, you're actually going to lose money when your product falls behind.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You get what you pay for. But we should also be clear that building these elite innovation hubs isn't exactly frictionless.
Right. The report mentioned some roadblocks. Local partners are facing some severe headwinds, right? Like what? Because 170,000 grads a year sounds great, but I imagine keeping them around is a bit of a dogfight.
A brutal one, yeah. There is an all-out war to retain senior STEM talent right now. But perhaps the most surprising hurdle is actually the clean energy bottleneck.
Wait, really? How so? Do you mean just like keeping the lights on?
Well, more than that, advanced tech operations just devour power. Yeah, you can build a state-of-the-art AI simulation lab, but if the local grid can't handle the power surge without tripping, your innovation is basically dead in the water.
That's a huge problem.
It is. The partners who are building their own renewable energy solutions are the ones pulling ahead. And on top of that, you need serious legal firepower to navigate complex USMCA trade regulations.
Right, the TMEC rules.
Exactly. Because otherwise you might get hit with sudden tariff surprises that just completely wipe out your margins.
Wow. So transitioning to design is really Mexico's strategy to future-proof its economy against the inevitable total automation of assembly lines.
Spot on. The ultimate question for businesses today is no longer how much do I save, but who will help me innovate faster?
That is the big takeaway. For you listening, if you manage projects or are building a business, look closely at your own partnerships. Are you stuck in a 1.0 mindset of cost cutting, or are you actually investing in resilient ecosystems?
Right.
Are you still treating your partners like a mindless printing press, or are you giving them a co-author credit?
Exactly. Which leaves you with one final thought to mull over.
Go for it.
If assembly lines eventually become 100% automated, what happens to the global economies that never managed to evolve past nearshoring 1.0 and still rely entirely on offering cheap labor?